Welcome to Utah State Board of Education's June 4th board meeting. We have quite a full agenda today, and appreciate all the preparation that has been made to make this meeting happen. Again, it's electronic and not face-to-face. It's got plenty of challenges in it, and I appreciate everyone enduring those challenges. Before I get into the opening, to the roll call, I want to pardon me. Make sure that we excuse
Ruben and I had the opportunity to listen into one of the operation meetings yesterday and hear them.
Who do we have that's not muted there, Jeff?
Sean Newell, you're unmuted.
These ideas.
Okay.
Bob, thank you very much for what you presented.
Okay, we've got two board members, board member Belknap and Laura Belknap, and board member Scott Nielsen asked to be excused. They're going to try to get on the line if they can. They had some last minute personal conflicts that arrived to them. So I'm going to do a roll call so that everyone knows who is here. So this will be another test to mute and unmute. And I'm not seeing her on here, Laura Belknap, so I'll move to member Bolter.
Here.
Member Cannon.
I have a couple of issues that I just wanted to pursue a little bit further. So you and I have talked.
We still have some people that aren't muted there, but board member Cannon.
This
Vice Chair Cummins.
history is serving up some opportunities for
Here.
us to maybe think about some things and do some things a little bit differently.
Vice Chair Cummins.
Because
I'm here.
All right. Member Davis.
things that we have to do to deal with.
Here.
Member Earl.
Here.
Member Gravitt.
Here.
Areas that actually came up in our call the other day that we wanted to go back to a little bit.
Board member Jennifer Gravitt.
Clarify.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Member Scott Hansen.
Good morning. Revolve
Morning. Member Haynes.
I'm here, yes.
Member Lear.
Here also.
Member Marsh.
Here.
Doesn't look like Scott Nielsen's on. Member Newell.
Here.
Member Thorpe.
Here.
And member Huntsman's here. Okay, thank you. As people are coming on, as if board member Scott Nielsen or member Belknap were able to join us, I'll make sure we recognize them. And if you see them, Vice Chair Cummins, log on or something, let me know. I appreciate it. They will. That covers our roll call. Next, we'll have our board member message from board member Mike Haynes. Are you ready to go?
All right. Yes. Thank you, Chair Huntsman. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. All right. So there's a lot of things that came to mind for a board member message. I appreciated hearing everybody else deliver a message. And I thought, we're living in such a crazy time. Normalcy seems to be kind of a thing of the past and something we're all longing for anymore. Life, work, school, play, everything seems to be in chaos right now. And we seem to be seeing more and more people around the country lose trust in authority, leadership, and many of those receiving harsh criticism at every turn. It's heartbreaking to me to see the country divided like it is, and I pray that we can find a peaceful end to the unrest that we have and come out of this more unified and more accepting of all people. With this crazy time, I thought I just wanted to thank our board for the great work that we're doing. And for all the many sacrifices made in the name of education and the future of our state. I've actually never been a part of a group of people that I enjoy so much as I do here with this board, and I appreciate every one of you. With that being said, I wanted to express my thanks and appreciation to each of you and let you know that the work that we do is meaningful and appreciated. And Chair Huntsman, I want to start with you. From day one, I've admired your commitment to education and your consistent positive attitude. I'm in awe by the countless hours that you give to helping education in Utah. I've learned much from you and sincerely appreciate your great leadership, example, and integrity. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Vice Chair Brittany Cummins, I remember how you conducted my new board member orientation. And I sat there thinking, wow, she's amazing. How does she know all of this? And I hope one day maybe I could be like her. Brittany, I'm still amazed and impressed with your knowledge, leadership, and genuine interest to ensure our board and our state is doing everything we can to provide the best education for our K-12 students. Thank you for all that you do. Board Member Jenny Earl, I've enjoyed getting to know you and watching you work, and sometimes you fight for things that are important to you. Thank you for being so concerned about children's education and their privacy and their safety. Your example has helped me pay more attention to the details in the work that I do on this and other areas of my life. Thank you, Jenny. Board Member Scott Hansen, when I first read your bio, I saw your experience in manufacturing and law, and I thought, wow, here's someone I'd really like to get to know. And at first, you were a little hard for me to read, but as time went by and we got more and more opportunities to visit, I found how genuine you were, how smart and thoughtful, and what a great board member you are. Thank you for your friendship and you're a great example. Thank you, Scott. Laurie Ann Thorpe, Board Member Thorpe, as one of our newest members, I knew how amazing you were before I had even met you. Our mutual friend, South Jordan Mayor Don Ramsey, had told me all about you and how lucky we are as a board to be getting you. And I have since learned for myself how wonderful you are and appreciate your passion, love, and concern for the children of Utah, and especially those with special needs. Thank you, Board Member Thorpe. Board Member Jenny Gravitt, I'm not at all surprised by the many accomplishments and recognitions you have received in your career as a teacher, including District Teacher of the Year and runner-up for Utah's Teacher of the Year. Very impressive. I have so much respect for you and have always appreciated hearing your perspective on things. And actually, I would have loved to have my kids have had you as one of their teachers. And I love that you love Swatch watches. Thank you for all you do, Jenny. Board Member Laura Belknap, I have few first impressions of people that will last as long as the one that I have with you. The first day we met, you gave me a big hug and said, welcome, we're excited to have you on the board. And I'm sure you've done that for every new board member. I've seen you continue to show that same care, love to all people. And I so much appreciate that. And for the great friend that you are, thank you for being willing to share your time, your knowledge of education, your experience with the legislative process, in helping me and so many others. Thank you, Laura. Board Member Carol Lear. Carol, you're one of a kind. I love it. I don't think I've ever met anybody quite like you. I have really enjoyed learning from you, and I admire how you have gone from USBE staff to USBE board member and the perspective that that gives you. I've learned a lot from you and appreciate the background, the insight, your experience that you bring to this board. And I also appreciate the many visits that we've had discussing everything from family to politics. Thank you, Carol. Board Member Janet Cannon. I've been on a lot of out-of-town business trips and traveled with a lot of people. But after our trip to Omaha last year for a NASB conference, you've got to be one of my all-time favorite travel mates. Thank you for taking me under your wing and allowing me to learn from you. I'm grateful for your contribution to education and for your desire and willingness to continue to serve. You're a great board member and a wonderful person. Thank you, Janet. Board Member Cindy Davis. After spending just a few minutes with you, it's like we were already best friends. I'm sure that's the way it is with everybody you meet. And I can tell why you were such a great teacher and principal. You're an exceptional communicator with a great attitude and a joy for the work. I enjoy working with you and learning from your experience, and I appreciate the care and concern you have for education in our state. Thank you, Cindy. Board Member Sean Newell, I've never met anyone as well connected as you are. You seem to be everywhere and doing so much for our community, and I so much appreciate that. As busy and as great as you are, I'm so glad that you're on this board and for the perspective you bring. I have no doubt that you love helping kids, and I love watching you and how you can brighten the mood of any room with your big smile. Thank you for all you do, Sean. Board Member Mark Marsh, you and I both joined the board at the same time. And though I have felt like I was your little brother at times, as I stand next to you, it's been fun to have someone as classy as you are to go through that process. And I enjoy hearing about your experiences that have come from serving as a president of a district board of education, as well as all that you know and learn having a spouse as a teacher. I'm glad that you've been willing to make the many sacrifices it takes to serve on this board. Thank you for all you do, Mark. Board Member Scott Nielsen, you won me over from the very beginning. The two professions that I admire the most are those in education and those in military service. And you're both of those. I so much appreciate all that you do for education as well as your military service. Thank you. I've enjoyed hearing about your experiences in the classroom and your perspective that you bring to this board. And I've also enjoyed talking a little bit of powerlifting with you. Thank you, Scott. Board Member Michelle Bolter, it's always fun to make connections and learn where life's paths have crossed. It didn't take long before you and I found a connection to Mississippi, and I'm grateful for that connection. I've always appreciated how much the family means to you and how you will do everything you can to help, support, and protect the family. You're a great example to me and many others. Thank you for your dedication to help make Utah the best place to receive a quality education. Thank you, Michelle. And I need to say a special thanks to our wonderful superintendent, Sid Dixon. You are one of the most, actually, one of the most common things I hear in schools as I visit them is how lucky we are in Utah to have Sid Dixon as our state superintendent. And everyone tells me, please tell her that we say hello and thank her for all she does. Sid, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you and to see firsthand what you do to make learning better for our students, work easier for our teachers, classified employees, and the jobs of our administrators easier. Thank you for your leadership and example. You are one of the most determined, creative, empathetic, honorable, and dedicated people I know. Thank you so much, Sid. And Lorraine Austin. Lorraine, I just wanted to say thank you to you as well. You're as good as they get. So fun and good to work with. I so much appreciate your patience and knowledge, experience, your professional and thoughtful approach in all that we do as you support the board and keep us moving forward in the right direction. Thank you, Lorraine. And there are so many other members of the staff that I have had an opportunity to work with that I could go on and on about each one of these. Thank you, Patty Norman, for all you do. Angie Stallings, thank you. We have some mutual friends, and just I cannot hear enough good about Angie and all that she does. Scott Jones, another wonderful example of the two professions that I admire the most, education and military, and I appreciate his willingness to be able to step out and serve at this time as he is deployed. Darren Nielsen, Leah Voorhees. I've said there's no one like Leah. She is amazing. What she has in her mind can't be duplicated. Thank you for all you do, Leah. Tiffany Stanley, what a wonderful person to work with. You're so great and refreshing to visit with. And thank you for all you do and all you do to help staff and Superintendent Dixon. Jeff Van Holten, it's been so great to work with you. I'm so glad that we get to work closer with you. Thank you for all you do. You're amazing. I've never seen a guy so steady in his emotions and consistently doing all he can to help. And Sarah Young, what a pleasure to work with you. You're amazing. And so many others. I'll tell you that I believe that my life, and I'm sure many other lives, are better because of our association with people like you, all of you. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for being a friend to me and allowing me to serve on this board with you and interact with you. The future looks bright, and I'm excited to get there with all of you. Thank you, Chair Huntsman, for giving me this time.
Thank you, Board Member Haynes, for your message of appreciation and gratitude, and also for your contribution that you have brought to our board. So thank you. We'll continue to move on our agenda. Next, we have our education highlights. We're going to start off with our green ribbon schools. Ricky Scott, are you going to take point as Ricky Scott's our education specialist on the introductions? We're going to hear hear our presentations, and then after the presentations, both presentations are completed for the two schools, and we'll have questions from board members. So education specialist Ricky, are you ready to come on?
I'm ready, Chair.
All right.
Good morning, board members. As was stated, I'm Ricky Scott. I'm the secondary science specialist in teaching and learning. It is my privilege today to introduce to you representatives from 2 Utah schools that have been nationally recognized as U.S. Department of Education Green Ribbon Schools. The 2 schools recognized for this honor are Bonneville Elementary in Salt Lake City and Wasatch Academy in Mount Pleasant. Now, a quick background: to be honored as a Department of Education Green Ribbon School, these schools must show progress in 3 areas: reduce environmental impact and cost, improve the health and wellness of schools, students, and staff, and provide effective environmental and sustainability education. Now, while the Utah Society for Environmental Education, UC, has recognized green ribbon schools here in Utah as a statewide representation for several years, it's really important to note that these are the first 2 Utah schools to ever be awarded with this national title of U.S. Department of Education Green Ribbon Schools. So I'm going to now introduce representatives from both schools who will join us and share for a few minutes the work that they've done in this area. We'll first hear from Marilyn Grizzly, principal, and Elise Maxwell, a teacher from Bonneville Elementary. And following them, we'll hear from Joseph Lofton, head of school, and Dr. Joel Barnes, the director of sustainability and experiential education at Wasatch Academy. And again, Chair, following them, we'll turn it back to you for questions from the board. So we'll turn it over to you, Elise and Marilyn.
Good morning. My name is Elise Maxwell. I teach 3rd grade at Bonneville Elementary School in Salt Lake City School District. First of all, thank you so much for giving us this time to share some of the things that are going on in our community. Bonneville Elementary has a long history of having a sustainability focus. We were actually the first school in the state to be recognized at the state level, and now here we are at the national level. I believe that's greatly owed to the community that we have, from the district level to the parents to the students and administrators. We really just have so much support in all of these efforts, and at the end of the day, every single person in our community has been involved in this. In order to be cognizant of your time, we're just going to focus on some of our bigger campaigns and touch on them very briefly. I'll discuss 2 and then pass it over to my principal, Mrs. Grizzly. The first one I wanted to talk about has to do with improving the health and wellness of students and staff. We have a 6th grade teacher, Laura Anderson, who along with her team hosts a health fair every year. What that means is that every 6th grade student chooses a health condition that is important to them in some way. They research that condition, they do an entire research project about it, and then they reach out to a nonprofit about advocacy or research, and then together they put together a presentation that goes to every student in our school. It's an incredible time to see our students really grow in their understanding of their importance in the world and how they can take care of themselves and other people. The second campaign I'd like to talk about is actually one of my own. We partner with Green Fiber at a district level. Green Fiber takes paper and cardboard recycling and turns it into housing insulation. Kind of double duty, because you are taking things from the landfill or keeping them from going there, and then it reduces energy consumption when it becomes insulation. We do that year round, but once a year we have our recycling week, where Green Fiber comes in and re-educates all of our students about the importance of recycling and how they can contribute. And then during that week, rather than putting our paper recycling into the dumpster, we collect it in the auditorium. So we have an entire auditorium full of paper and cardboard. And what that means is that by Friday, our students are able to walk in and see just how much they've collected together. and how much they prevented from going into the landfills. This last year, we actually collected 3,280 pounds in 1 week, which is incredible to see. And the reason I love this campaign is because I think it's such an important thing for our students to be able to recognize that even as little people doing what feels like little things with pieces of paper, it adds up to a really enormous impact. All right, that's me. I'll pass it over to Mrs. Grizzly. Thank you.
Am I unmuted? Yes. Good morning. I'm Mary Lane Grizzly. I'm the principal of Bonneville Elementary School in Salt Lake City. And I came into the school with a very strong green ribbon school ethic. Our new program this year was partnered with our PTA and along with Westminster College through our PTA parent, Rachel Forrest, who is also a university professor at Westminster. And she started the Clean Air Committee with our support and an idle-free schools campaign. They surveyed parents who, of course, said that they wanted cleaner air. And our students did idle-free pledges, posters, along with anecdotes. So from that, they got 75% of our school pledged to clean air and idle-free, and they earned a crazy hair day. They also did posters and our anecdotes, and from there we got a weekly clean air champion. And once we started doing our clean air champions, students got on board like you can't believe. We used the EPA Idle Freeze toolkit with the air quality index flags, and every day put up flags that would show our community on the outside of our school what kind of air quality to expect that day. So we also did 2 driver contact events where non-idling cars receive keychains. So we were off to a good start with our clean air, and we were sorry to see it cut short. So we couldn't do one more monitor because of the shutdown. We also have a school lunch program, recycling program, where a PTA parent volunteers daily to guide students to recycle appropriately. So they get the education piece along with their action. Students bring up their trays to a station, they throw their garbage away on one side, and they recycle on the other, putting the appropriate milk cartons and other pieces of their lunch recyclable items in the recyclable cans. So Bonneville has been very strong in this, and we were very honored to be a green ribbon school. And with that, thank you for giving us this time this morning. We'll turn it over to the next school.
So Ricky, is our next school ready?
Yeah, Chair, I see that they're on. Wasatch, are you available to unmute yourselves and go in and present for a couple minutes?
Was it Joel or Jim?
Yeah, that's correct. I see them on here. I wonder if they're just struggling to find it. So if you're struggling, find yourself in the participants list, and then there should be a little microphone button you can click to unmute yourself. And if you can turn on your camera, that'd be great.
Jeff?
Chair, you may want to let them know that the list is at the very top of the screen now that Jeff is displaying, so they need to go to the very top to see the drop down.
Okay.
Oh, I hear you, I think.
Jeff, unmute him.
This is Joe Lofton. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Thank you.
Yes.
I I can see myself, but I can't see. Hold on a second. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
And see me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm Joe Lofton. I'm the head of school at Wasatch Academy. Wasatch Academy is the oldest continuously operating secondary school in the state of Utah. We just celebrated our 145th birthday. We were founded in 1875 as Wasatch Academy, as a boarding school here in central Utah. And we continue to thrive today, not only as a school for students locally, but also regionally, nationally, and internationally. And having such a diverse, broad-based student body, we've really taken it on as our mission to model appropriate environmental stewardship, also to model the fact that we as people now live in a globally interconnected world where we have to be our brother's keeper globally and not just locally. And as a result, we've established an outstanding experiential education and sustainability program where we involve our students in becoming more conscious environmental stewards. I have an outstanding director of experiential education and sustainability, and that's Dr. Joel Barnes. And Joel had a presentation. Joel, are you
yes
right now?
Yes, I'm back on.
Okay, Joel, why don't you go ahead and share what you have, and we'll move on.
Sure. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Mr. Lofton. I appreciate your introduction. So as Mr. Lofton mentioned, I'm the Director of Sustainability and Experiential Education at Wasatch Academy. And just as a precursor to our Green Ribbon School summary, I just wanted to recognize how, as an independent school in rural Utah with a global student body, it really puts us in a unique niche in terms of the educational landscape. We have students from nearly 40 countries on our campus every day, yet we live in a fairly isolated landscape socioculturally, in the middle of rural central Utah. So this puts us in a really unique situation to serve as a regional, national, and even international leader in secondary education, and the fact that sustainability education and experiential education are central to this leadership role really was part of the inspiration for us to apply for the Utah Department of Education Green Ribbon School Award and status. We really are always looking for ways to strengthen our role as a leader in sustainability and experiential education, and this was just a prime opportunity for us to do that. It also enabled us to serve as a resource and a role model for other schools who are looking to strengthen their curriculum in sustainability education and experiential education. One of the things that applying for the Green Ribbon School Award really empowered us to do was to conduct a complete inventory of all that we have done in regards to sustainability and experiential education over the past 25 years. And this is really, we realized once we were done with the application and really had fine-tuned and brought many people in from across both students, faculty, and staff to complete the application, what we had done is really set us up for future grants. So the application not only set us up to receive this award, but we have got many years of really the core of some grant applications that we can then fund future projects. So we really feel like the Green Ribbon School application process is serving as a springboard for us to improve our institutional capacity, not just with sustainability, but with sustainability education, which means we're really committed to involving our students at multiple entry points along these projects. If students are interested in really small projects, we have an entry point for them. If they want to come with us to national and international meetings and conferences, we have an entry point for them. So we try and accommodate our students wherever their skill sets are most appropriate. And the Green Ribbon School application process, like I said, has set us up for success in future projects to the point where we're really happy with where we're at right now. And some of the projects that we will be funding, that we will pursue funding in the future, include the Net Zero Energy Program that we established back in 1994, where we're slowly making progress on really producing and generating all of the energy that we use on campus locally through geothermal heat exchange system that we actually installed back in 1994, and solar panels that we just installed in our new activity center. So we're really pleased with the projects that not only enabled us to receive this award, but then that the application process will allow us to progress in the future. So we're really thankful for the opportunity to apply for this designation, and we look forward to the progress that it set us up to achieve in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Ricky, that concludes the presentation, so I believe, an introduction.
That's right.
So is there any questions from or comments from board members? And I'm using this technology scanning, and Vice Chair Cummins, rescue me if you see a hand pop up. I'm not seeing any. On Wasatch Elementary, I do have a question on the green. You're talking about the solar panels and some of your other project. You were pretty close with the city of Mount Pleasant. I know they have their own power system. Is that part of your recipe for success? Is the coordination with your provider?
Yes, moving forward, Mr. Huntsman, we are wanting to, develop an energy grid that would, create basically a cooperative between the municipality and the school in reducing our energy cost and consumption of fossil fuel energy. So, that is a long-term project, but we're in the discussion phase right now.
All right, thank you. Is there any other? I'm not seeing any other hands. Are you, Vice Chair Cummins?
Board Member Cindy Davis.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, Board Member Davis.
Just a big thank you to you and those who are doing such great work with students. Just speaking for myself and I'm guessing others also, it's a little strange doing this remote meeting, but we see you and we hear you, and we're grateful for the good work that you are doing. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing any other hands. Cindy, your hand's still up, but did you have something else? If not, Ricky, did you want to wrap this up with any close?
No, just a huge congratulations again. These are the first two here in the state of Utah to receive this recognition, and they are leaders in the state when it comes to this, and we're really grateful for them and the example they give to hopefully future schools and what they're doing here in the state of Utah. So thank you so much for being with us this morning, and Chair and board members, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Next on we have one additional education highlight, which is the President's Volunteer Service Award. Alan Griffin, are you available to introduce each individual?
Yes, I'm here, Chair Huntsman. Thank you. I'm Alan Griffin, Curriculum Content Specialist here at the State Board of Education and the designee of the superintendent you serve. Utah State Board of Education has been designated as a certifying organization for the President's Volunteer Service Award by the Corporation of National Service. The award recognizes the important role of volunteers in America and honors individuals whose service positively impacts communities and inspires those around them to take action too. Both students and staff members may apply to the award. There are 6 individuals who are qualified to receive the award at this time. They are Betel Nur Ogus, Jenna Deinert, Hanafai Ogus, Akan Karipaduk, Shirley Barima, and Katura Murphy. I have a brief couple of paragraphs on each of these persons. And if you'd like to, then at the end of the paragraphs that I read, I would like the opportunity to have each of them maybe talk to you just a little bit about what the award means to them. First one is Betel Nur Ogus. Betel Nur Ogus is a high school sophomore who rendered 108.5 hours of service in 3 general areas to earn a gold award. She spent time helping nurses and hospital personnel take care of patients, taught Turkish at a tutoring center, and tutored middle school math students. She accomplished this service in addition to taking AP classes in school and participating in extracurricular activities. Through her service, she learned to be a good listener and to be patient and understanding, all traits that will be beneficial to her career goals in the health profession. She also learned time management skills and to meet the different needs of the children she served. Betel loves interacting with people in every age bracket, from children to senior citizens, and her service was a multicultural activity for her as she met people from many different nationalities and age groups. Betel, are you there? If you click on the microphone icon next to your name to
Yeah. Hi.
okay. And if you have a camera, there we go. Tell us about your service, Betel.
So I volunteered at the hospital and at a public tutoring center and at my own school. And through these volunteering opportunities, I got to help out people in the medical field and teachers. And this really increased my respect for these people. First off, I never really considered the amount of trouble that teachers and medical care people go through to provide the things they do. And as I got to volunteer in the hospital and in schools, I got to really understand all the care that they put into providing these services. And this also helped me improve my view on these places and improve my respect for them. And I got to help the community while also doing things that I enjoy.
Thank you, Betel. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Board members, would you like to ask questions now, or would you rather wait until I get through with?
Let's wait till the end, and then the board members will write the student's name down, and then.
Great.
Okay, so please continue, Alan.
The second recipient is Jenna Deinert. She's a senior at Woods Cross High School, and she gave volunteer service at the Lakeview Hospital front desk for a year, completing 132 hours of service, which qualified her for the Bronze Award. Jenna has taken challenging courses in school, earning high grades, and particularly enjoys science, nutrition, and culinary arts classes. She plays multiple musical instruments, paints, and is involved in many clubs and organizations at school and in her church. When asked about her service, Jenna replied, "My volunteer service has made me feel part of my community. I'm grateful to help others and be able to serve my neighbors. In the future, I will volunteer more because I'll remember how good this experience has been for me. It has truly been a wonderful opportunity." So, Jenna, are you there?
Yes. So, my service, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My service at Lakeview Hospital was started initially because of my mom and someone who goes to my church because she volunteered at the hospital as well. And I was just looking for an opportunity that I could serve some people and do something meaningful with my time. So I started volunteering there every Wednesday, and I was able to meet a lot of different people from different cultures and religions and different backgrounds of economic levels. And it was just a really good experience to be able to learn how to interact with different types of people and how everyone should be treated equally, even if they don't have the same amount of money or if they're not from the same country or even if they don't speak the same language as me. I just really appreciated the opportunity to serve, and it helped me grow as a person and will help me in my future career and life with interacting with others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next recipient is Henna Oguts, who's an educator of 22 years at the Beehive Academy. He's the principal there and will receive the Gold Award for his service rendered from January to August of 2019. During this time, Henna volunteered 72 hours to participate in accreditation reviews at Pineview Middle School and Ames Middle School. Additionally, he spent 208 hours personally preparing Beehive Academy with growth plans, strategies, facilities, and other related areas to make sure that the growth of the school plan was done in a smooth and efficient way. Regarding his service, Henna said, "Through my service to work and ensure my school's growth is well planned and organized, I have learned that it's not easy to start a new school or educational program. It requires a lot of dedication and time and commitment of many stakeholders. It helped me to better appreciate those people that put their personal time in helping social and public programs to run and serve. It also made me happier to be able to contribute to the community and people." And I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm sorry, but are you there?
Yes, good morning. And I have heard many versions of my name. It's totally fine. It's Hanifi Ogus, and I am principal of Beehive Academy. As you have rightly mentioned, we educators are probably one of the group of like community members that want to serve to our people. And I, as an idealistic educator, this is passion for me. And I, of course, put my all, also use my personal time to not only my own school and students, and also my community and other education society that I. So it's my honor to serve the other areas of like, and I believe this is the best way that we can have a great society and community here. And I am also very proud that 3 of the are my students. So not only myself and my other fellow educators, our students are also very dedicated and communities serving their communities. So I'm also proud to be a father of one of those as well. Thank you.
Thank you. The next recipient is Hakan Karapaduk. Hakan Karapaduk is a 15-year-old young man who has earned the PVSA Gold Award by devoting himself to his community through 100 hours of teaching foreign languages. He taught Arabic and Turkish to middle school students at a Saturday school. He has demonstrated responsibility and dependability by his consistent and reliable service in this area, communicating effectively with students, families, and staff. Hakan performed his service while managing a busy schedule, including taking 3 AP classes, being secretary of the student council, president of the HOSA club, and working a part-time job. Hakan's own words sum up his feelings about his service. "The skills I gained in my volunteer experience, such as dedication, hard work, and time management, could be applied to many other aspects of my life, such as my personal life, school life, work life, and most importantly, college. This volunteer award signifies hard work and dedication to a singular activity." Hakan, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. Tell us about your service. Turn on your camera if you can.
My volunteer experience was no short of rewarding. Through the satisfaction I received through my students' improvement in the matter, it has helped me change my perspective on teaching. I've started to enjoy it a lot more, whereas in the past, when I wasn't as experienced, I didn't think I'd enjoy it. It also made me experience firsthand the struggles my teachers face to bring quality education to their students on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Thank you. I see that Hakan is wearing the award that's given to them, and I didn't mention that, but you want to hold that up a bit. This award comes from the President of the United States, along with a certificate that is signed by President Trump. Thank you, Hakan. The next one is Carolee Barima. Carolee Barima is a devoted mother of 3 children. She spent 488 hours in service to earn the Gold Award from PVSA. Carolee spends extra hours each day running the tracker for her middle school team to monitor the progress of students who need additional support with behavioral and social skills, and when needed, contacts parents and administration. She organizes and keeps data to determine trends and takes the extra effort to personalize the trackers each day and write notes of encouragement. Carolee has enjoyed supporting students through the struggles they have, setting firm boundaries while conveying care and love for them. She has helped many students turn their behaviors around so they can be successful. She has shown great leadership through her service and is an exemplar of selfless devotion to the lives of troubled youth. Tara Lee, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So just my big thing is making connections with the kids because my kids are in an at-risk area and a lot of them don't have those connections with adults. It's important for me to make time to do that. So I decided to do it with trackers so that they had a visual that they could take with them. But I would meet with them after school. I would meet with them before school to go over their trackers, to set goals with them and just help them make those connections. Because if they're not going to make those connections with a trusted adult, they're going to make those connections elsewhere. And I just really wanted to avoid those gang related connections and things like that that are pretty prevalent at my school. So it was a delight for me to get to know the kids, and I've done it for a few years now. And as they get up older in age and go up to high school, and I go to the high school events for my own children, when I see those kids and they come and they talk to me, they'll leave their group of friends and come and talk to me. It really lets me know that those connections were how vital they are.
Thank you so much. Well done. Our last recipient is Keturah Henna Murthy. Keturah Henna Murthy is a freshman at Beehive Science and Technology Academy. She spent 108.5 hours to earn the Gold Award from the PVSA. Her service included volunteer work at the Whitmore Library, and she also spent time entertaining and caring for children at the Sandy Boys and Girls Club. Keturah is heavily involved in extracurricular activities at Beehive Academy, such as editing the school yearbook, setting up the STEM Expo, and promoting computer science for all. Keturah is one who focuses on quality in her work. Her primary concerns were the people she served, and their feelings and interests were of paramount importance to her. These efforts helped her gain the attributes of a real leader. Keturah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Griffin. Thank you so much for that introduction. Volunteering with kids, it really helped me to see how I wanted to pursue a career with helping kids. Volunteering at the library, I was able to see how hard the librarians work, and I was able to see the system of how books are shelved, put away, and help the librarians with that, and helping up with school events, setting up for the STEM Expo that we have every year. It was very nice to help set up for that. And probably one of the most memorable experiences that I had while volunteering was when I was working with the kids. And there was a little boy sitting on the carpet and he was sitting by himself. So I came over to him and I kind of talked with him. I was like, what's going on? And I found out that he had lost his mother and I felt really bad for him. So I just kept talking with him. And then I started to see that he started smiling and he was happier. And working with these kids, it just really helped me to see that I want to pursue a career in helping kids or working with them in any way I can. And it was just a really memorable experience for me that made me think about all these things, how I wanted to pursue this career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keturah. Those are your 6 recipients. You board members, I'm sure, are aware that this is the first time we have done this as a certifying organization. And we have to reapply if we want to do this again next year. But it's each of these awards is, not real expensive, but I think we're well earned by participants, and there's hundreds of hours that you can see. So I'll turn it back to the board chair if there are some questions.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Questions, comments from board members? I'm looking for hands, and Vice Chair Cummins, if you see one pop up, I appreciate it. I just want to recognize a little bit on these volunteers. Utah is full of volunteerism, and it's from our schools and hospitals and out in fire departments and law enforcement, and it's part of the I say this quite often, the recipe of success that Utah has as a state and a community. And I want to thank all of those recipients here for their work. They didn't start this volunteerism as an effort to get an award. They did it because they cared. And one thing that I have found is in volunteering is you're a giver, but you learn to be a receiver at the same time. And in relationships, you're receiving experiences, and then also the gratification from doing the job. But it's also very addicting once you get into that lane. And I hope for our recipients, they continue to set that example of volunteering and sharing the joy and happiness that comes from those services without having to be paid to do something. So thank you for your examples, and also I'm sure you're going to continue and find more gratification and success in life balance and relationships as you continue to serve. Vice Chair Cummins, is there any hands up from board members? I apologize.
None.
None. Thanks again. Mr. Griffin, did you want to put a close on this?
Just a big thank you for allowing us a few minutes today to share these opportunities with you. I really think volunteerism is an important part of civic engagement. And as the board moves forward, I think with a lot of your goals and missions, I'm sure the civic engagement and volunteerism will be included, and we appreciate that and hope to continue in the future. Thank you.
And thank you for the participants that came online and shared with us today. Thank you.